Hello and welcome. I was going to intro like RJ and I forgot. Hello, dear beloveds. I am Renée Mayne and I am here with three other gorgeous priestesses, and we're here to celebrate the Institute's 5th birthday. So welcome, welcome, welcome. First up, we have the beautiful Tosca. Her face is enough to light up the planet, and that's even before she's weaved her magic. So when that fusion happens, she's truly electric and almighty. Her joy is absolutely contagious and infectious in the most glorious way as she goes about igniting the deep feminine and joyful goddess. Welcome, beautiful woman.
Hey, thank you, Renée. Woo woo. Jay Ma. Oh my goodness, what an awesome intro, and how honored I am. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And let me now introduce the beautiful Nafisa. She is a beautiful lady with a big, wide, majestic, tender heart who knows the truth of her soul and her spirit. Her beautiful, tender, loving ways gives her strength, not only within her world, but with everyone she comes in contact with. Thank you, Nafisa.
Oh, Tosca, that was just thank you. And let me introduce to you the absolutely glorious. We've got Daniela here who cannot feel this love. You know, she just is absolutely nurturing. You can feel it across. She lives, speak of heart space. Oh, heart absolutely open wide, you know, loves all living beings. You can just sense this feeling from Daniela, and you can feel her passion. You can sense it. You know, she's a born teacher, you know, and she's here to teach and to love. She's just glorious. Welcome, Daniela.
Oh, thank you so much, dear sister. That was so beautiful. I'm so grateful and humble. This was amazing, absolutely amazing. I'm so impressed, and I'm so humble hearing all this, because all of us, we are the same, but you know, it's not like glorifying, but I just really appreciate what words gone to my heart. Thank you. So here we have our beautiful Renée Mayne. She is our black goddess. She was our enchantress and seductress, and she's the one that is going to run the show with strength and confidence and power and all this determined strength that comes from her heart to run us where we need to go and to be proud of ourselves and our divine feminine, and to embrace what we are, embrace our truth, and just show up our light and shine brightly. So here is Renée.
Thank you. It's really nice just to be able to hang out and just share that moment. Like, we could almost just end it now and it's like, all right, we're done. But we're not. We've got things to explore and uncover. So I want to know, Tosca, what was the moment during the 3rd level that you realized you were God?
There were probably several moments, but the pivotal moment was in Bali with my sisters, and we were channeling each other's light archetypes, and it was so clear, so crystal, so fluent, so joyful too. It was like the wiring of my soul, and that is when it dropped, and I thought, I am God. We are all God. We are here celebrating life together. So in Bali, together with the sisters, was the first time that I felt God. God, I don't know, godliness, but God.
What about trust? Like, when did you fully trust? Was that the same moment, or?
It had slowly weaved its magic trust from the very beginning of when I had a very faint yes to the third level, and that little yes would not leave me alone. It kept, circling around my head, and I thought, oh my goodness, if I say no, no, I need to say yes, even though I was very I was scared and excited. So when that first I said yes, and I signed up and I paid my money, that was the beginning of the trust, that I was on the right path with the right people in the right time. And it's continued to grow. Even though I've left the third level, it's just growing, and more courage and more conviction. So, yeah.
Can I ask you, because we've been connected for a few years now.
Yeah.
And we've been connected, but we didn't know each other. And you never had any images of yourself. You had a generic profile pic, and you went from being, I want to say, unseen, like you didn't let yourself be seen.
No.
And then all of a sudden, it was this big, beautiful smile across my feed. So the difference was so extreme. So I'm really curious to know, what was that moment for you where you allowed yourself to be seen, and what was holding you back?
Yeah. The biggest thing was fear and the judgment of myself. I used to think, what will people think of me? What will be the judgments? Really, it's all about my own judgments of my own self and my own fears, and not wanting to be seen, thinking, oh my goodness, what will happen? What will people think? And it wasn't until I really deepened into that fear work, started to love myself, started to accept myself, and thought, whatever, let's just do it, baby. Throw out the fear, pull up the courage, and do it. What's the worst thing? Nothing. So stop it. Let's go. Let's embrace it. So, yeah, you're right. There was a big shift.
It was. And I'm so grateful that you had that shift, and it's been really beautiful to witness. So I want to honor that transformation, because it was the beginning of something beautiful.
Thank you so, so much. Thank you for acknowledging and witnessing me.
Anytime, baby, anytime. Daniela, when was that moment that you trusted God?
Yeah, it's difficult for me to say, because I was actually afraid of God, nearly for many, many, many years, because I grew up in religious environment. See, we used to go to church every Sunday, and I had this fear in me that I always have to do the right thing, because otherwise I'll be punished and God won't love me, and I need to do always what's expected from me. So I had this fear of God for many, many years. I lived in constant fear and constant not judgment, but trying to keep myself small, and just not do anything that I can rock the boat or something to be seen that I'm different. I need to go like with the flow like everyone else, and living this minimalistic life, and be afraid of God. And to me, the biggest shift actually came before, when I moved to Australia, was 26 years ago. I had a vision, I had a strong intention that I have to leave religion behind. I'm not going to go to church here. I'm not going to listen to anyone who's going to direct my life, who is going to tell me what to do. I didn't came from 26,000 kilometers from Eastern Europe here to be directed by some people, stranger churches, whatever religion. And my relationship with God at that point started to become stronger because I trusted God, the unseen God, not you can see, we have in Europe beautiful, amazing churches, cathedrals with lots of amazing, so you can see all archangels and God, Jesus, everything. To me, I didn't want anything this anymore because I had enough, for so many years. I really wanted to embrace what I can create within myself, create the church within myself, and find what is within me that will bring me closer to God, without going to formal, churches or setups, organization, religious, so on. So that was the beginning. The beginning was like, I didn't want to have nothing to do with any churches anymore in here. Even I was pushed by people from our country, or you have to go this. I didn't want to. I just wanted to stay with myself and find who I am and find why I'm here for, why I moved from one country to another and trying to create a living in here. And I set up the intention that I won't give up until I found it, until I found my purpose and I found my pure relationship with the unseen God, because I knew God existed. I knew that it's there. I knew that's everywhere, not just there on the throne like we believe when we are younger and we are educated this way. So my relationship started that way, and I went through a long journey of discovery and questioning myself. About 10 years, took 10 years to find who I am, why I'm here, what I'm supposed to do. And I tell you, I had really everything in my life that everyone wants: marriage, children, very good job, very good, well-paid job, everything was perfect in my life. But that link was missing. That was missing to my heart, to find God, to myself. And after 10 years of searching, I had a big injury, and that injury actually triggered, I had about 4 surgeries over 12 months, and actually I had enough time of work to stay with myself and try to find questions to all these, answers to all these questions I asked myself. And it came to me in the end through someone that offered to heal myself, to heal with energy healing, and after she offered, I accepted, and I said, I want to do it myself. I want to learn how to do it because I know it can be done. I know our body can heal ourselves. So that was actually the point when I started to make connection with my healing God, with I constantly, through my energy field, I invoke the energy of healing. And I brought it in myself. And I started to heal from inside all the fear, all the blockages I had from my life in, the other country. I always say to everyone, look, I had 2 lives in this life. One is there, was there in fear, religion, communism, whatever you name it, in prison. And one is here in freedom and discovery and finding a way to live in peace and harmony and balance. But it came to me, as I said, after maybe another 10 years of searching. And once I found that, yes, the more I let go, of all this fear that was keeping me away from the true God, from the healer within me, which that's the way I discovered God,
Yeah.
And everything started from there. And now, more than 10 years, I'm way on my journey still discovering, still looking for ways to evolve. But I found God, and I'm so grateful for that.
What do you think in that moment where you were searching for so long, and it feels like it was like, you know, it was that search for something outside of yourself, and then you got sick, and what was it about getting sick that opened you up to go, hang on a minute, I think there's more to this than what I'm actually, so I'm searching for what I think I'll find, but I feel like there's an openness from that moment. What was that openness for you? What was that that moment?
Yes, because I had time to be away, you know, from my corporate life and from all this rat race and everything. I went deeply into more meditation. I already done meditation at the time, but not every day, like seldom. To deeply meditate every day for a long time, and to connect with my soul, to connect with my true self. And that opened the door to embrace more all this beautiful energy that gave me peace in my heart. And that peace in my heart brought me more, you know, like the more I create peace, the more I create acceptance for what it was, the more acceptant I become, the more I receive. Because this acceptance made me let go of more fear, and I had more peace in my heart. And that's triggered to me to make room for more love in my heart, more God in my heart.
Yeah.
So since then, obviously, my meditation is every day. It's part of my devotion practice, like everyone, I guess everyone else we are doing.
Yeah.
But at that moment when I found peace with myself and acceptance, I started to receive more. I started to open up to more, you know. That was a major point in my my transformation.
Beautiful. And I love that once you do that, it's amazing then, like what that opens up and our ability to receive is so huge. So that's amazing. Nafisa, over to you, baby. So what was that moment where you trusted God?
It's sort of been building along the way, but I have to say, for me, it's been more recent in that complete handover.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that all three of you understand, and the other sisters, where it actually happened towards the end of the third level, which both you and I have just completed, Renée, and it was literally around 3 months before it ended, and it was the first lockdown that we were all in.
Yeah.
And, you know, and kids running around and happening, and, you know, we're locked up and trying to do our case studies and doing everything. And it was just building. And it was also the time that it really dropped in for me that here I am. I'm in this course and I'm learning and I'm doing all this work. But there's something missing for me. There's something missing. And it was that peace. It was that complete trust and surrender. That it was literally feels like a coin dropping into a slot, you know, and it just like, it just dropped for me. And I thought, wow. And you know, it was busy times and you know, a little bit heightened and we it was this tiny incident that, you know, we had someone trying to break in broad daylight because desperate times. And that was sort of the thing that did it for me. It just cracked me and I just sort of had this, you know, breakdown thinking, oh my gosh, what's happening? And it was that moment that I realized that, hold on, you're trying to control all of this. And it really sank in for me that I was trying to control things when really, you know, even now we're in lockdown and it's just hand it over. and I didn't completely trust, and the whole that last 3 months completely shifted for me, and really everything just shifted for me from there in terms of handing over completely and just surrendering and being there. And yeah, it's just been amazing from there. So I can't imagine what it's going to be like. You know, don't get me wrong, we're still human every day, and yes, things drop in and it never goes away. It doesn't mean you're free of this forever. But what you have is, you know what, remember this, and then you so quickly snap into it and you just go, yes, I do, thank you, and you literally go, thank you, hand it over.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me, in that trust and that push and pull, because you're someone who is so, I mean, you know, we're all dedicated to our families, but I'm very good at like going, nah, like I need to work, like this is mama's time, where you're so giving and you put everybody else first. So what was that moment where you realized that for you to do this work, things had to change and you actually had to put you in the center?
Yeah, well, I have to say, one of the first things in being part of the third level and being part of this, it's one of the biggest things that I've come up with, learning to put myself first. I love my family. I love everyone that I come across, but I cannot serve them or be of service and serve anyone else if I don't serve myself. And that actually dropped in for me in the third level. Although I have the most beautiful partner who's forever saying, take care of yourself, you know, don't worry about it. But, you know, as you picked up, that was just something that had to click in. And Bali, it's like I heard, I think it was Sandra who mentioned yesterday, I've never left my children, my oldest, they're 6.5-year-old twin boys, and I'd never left my children ever, like, to go away anywhere. And that was actually a deal breaker for me with the third stuff. Like, oh, I really want to do this, but I have to go away and I'm not sure. And my husband, my partner, he actually said, what are you talking about? You wouldn't do it because you have to go away? No, just do it. So he was pushing me, but I was like, oh, I can't. And it has been, I mean, liberating is, I don't think that's the term, but really, because I was this woman who traveled for work and, you know, very independent. But when I had my children, I stopped working. And I just became, it was like tunnel vision, just my kids, and that was it. And to a point also losing my all that self-esteem and losing my confidence, you know, like, oh, but I'm just a mum at home. And it was really, so it has been the third level, as I've made my way through it, I've reclaimed that. And one of my biggest fears in becoming a mum was that, will I be a good mum if I followed something of my own? Would I be a good mum if I went out and do things that served me and served others? And tonight is so beautiful because my 3 children are upstairs with my partner and he's putting them to bed. And he said, come on, guys, we've all got to be quiet because Mama's going to do some work, because Mama is doing some important work to help people. So we've got to help her. And my heart is just so full because it's never been them. It's never been them. It's been me in the way. And so, yeah, it's definitely me first, in me organizing myself, waking up and doing all my things. But, you know, it's funny you say that, Renée, because through the third level, I've actually had people also drop off, you know, as you do, as you start doing work, but not anything else. As you just mentioned, for me, it's, I'd always put everyone else first. And how can I serve you? What can I do? What do you need? Oh, Tosca, what do you need from me? I'll just come over. And that's pull back. not in terms of not caring,
No.
but putting myself first. And so I think it's been a bit of a, people going, what's wrong with her? Are you okay? You're not the same anymore. Damn right, I'm not the same. And I'm so happy that I'm not the same, and yet I am. And my heart is bigger and more giving. But, there's some things that have shifted, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Well, you're no longer playing God. It's very different.
No.
Yeah. Cool. Just in a cut, because I'm kind of mindful that I, as I usually do, is I started off with, the bomb of like, and, come up with this word God in the very first question. So for those people who are watching or will watch back later, just in like 2 words, how do each of you explain God? What is God for you? Tosca?
Infinite love.
Yeah. Beautiful. Daniela?
My inner light.
Beautiful. Nafisa?
God is everything you feel and you see around you.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And yourself, Renée? Yeah.
For me, I think of God as the all. Yeah, everything. But I think like you, that's more than my 2 words, but love is another one that I resonate with. But also now I'm like inner light. Like I love that. That's so cool. For me, with trust, sorry, I've just got an echo now. I'm not, am I echoing for you guys or am I right? For me, the moment that I felt trust is like in terms of this work, was that moment there was a moment in Bali where I realized that like at the time my sisters were fully dependent on me and they would not receive the transformation unless I fully trusted. And so for me, I just went, holy fuck, like, I don't know if I can swear on RJ's page, but but it was that moment where I just went, I cannot rob like my sisters or my clients or anyone of not going as deep as what I wanted to take them. So for me, that was a complete game changer. And it was just interesting, like then after that, just sinking more and more into trust, because trust is a big one, right? Like, anyone can receive intuition. Everybody receives intuition, whether they know it or not, but following it, trusting it and taking action on it is a completely different thing. So, and in my practice studies and case studies, there'd be moments where I'd like, so I would, I'd get a hit, like my intuition would guide me to do something. And then I'll be like, really? Do I really like that word? Do I really have to say that word? Or do I really have to do that? Like, But every single time at the end of the session, they'd go, that word got me. That word got me. It was always the word that I didn't want to say that completely brought it home for them. And that thing that I didn't want to do, it was that at the end of it, they'd go, oh, that moment, the whole thing just landed. Wow. And it just, so after that, I was just like, right, that's it. Like fully on my knees always. Yeah. Cool. So delving into the Institute, and as a 3rd level priestess, this work, you know, at times it was the most amazing bubble. And, you know, it was, I think, was it Amy who said in the beginning, you know, it's like you're in a washing machine. And, you know, and I was like, in the beginning, I was like, I've done heaps of it. Like, I eat this shit for breakfast, like, whatever, you know. And then it was very quickly, very soon after that, where I went, oh, okay. And it was like nothing else, no other training I had ever done. So I want to ask you guys, what was the biggest challenge and what was the biggest surprise for you guys? Let's start with you. Maybe we'll go around the other way. Nafisa.
The biggest challenge. I have to say the biggest challenge for me is no longer, but was at the time. You know, I was one of those people who was like, oh, I don't fit in here. I don't belong. Everyone, like, they know what they're doing. I don't come from any of this. You know, I've never done any of this work. Like you said, you know, you done. I'm just going, look at you guys, like, you're doing all this stuff and you're so amazing. What am I doing here? I was like, that was very challenging for me. And constantly, because of course the fear and that little voice and the shadow constantly like, what are you doing? Like, you know, you're kidding yourself. So that was definitely my biggest fear and challenge, like just sitting there, that challenge, constantly saying, no, it's okay. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here. I want to be here. I'm here because I want to be here. And it was challenging to keep at it, you know, and I just kept going, but it was very challenging, you know, just constantly reminding myself that, yes, I do belong. And sorry, what was the other thing, Renee?
What was the thing that unexpected delight that you got from the third level?
I have to say, the sisterhood is just, I wouldn't have in my wildest dreams ever imagined to receive so much love from 12 women across the world who, you know, we didn't know each other from a bar of soap yet. We've all been here together. And it was so beautiful to return. And I loved it. I loved that we all came back to be with each other. And I mean, thinking about it now just, you know, fills me up. But it just was the biggest delight and the biggest surprise. And I am forever grateful for that, because, you know, to put it in words in terms of, I thought it was so beautiful. And then I when we returned from Bali, I went to a little event that was set by one of our sisters, our big sisters, who'd held something, and RJ was there. And I took my mum along. She came with me. And when we left there, she said, oh, there's so much love. Like, how long have you all known each other? There's just this genuine love and warmth. You can feel it. And I said, yeah. And it was so nice for someone who's removed, not part of it, to be able to feel that. So it is so special, and it's an absolute delight. Yes, that was my little surprise.
Nice. Daniela, how about you?
So with me, a little bit similar with Nafisa, because being together with so many women was really strange, was weird for me, because I came from man environment, like in my corporate work, you know, being a civil engineer, I always dealt with men. I had men around me all the time. I used to go to meetings, like sometimes we're 20 men and myself, constantly men surrounded by men, all the people around me. So being with all my other sisters, particularly in Bali, when we went, was not just our group, but we had the group from year before joined us. So we were about 22 women there. It felt so weird in the beginning. How can I be in here? Exactly like Nafisa said, you know, I felt I felt a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning to be with so many women around. I wasn't used to. It was something that I never experienced before. But towards the end of the week, because we stayed there for a week, I felt so much connection, and I made so many. I felt that all these sisters, everyone that we came there together, we've been before and we knew each other before. So become easier and easier and easier, and listening to each other, being together. So was really such a beautiful change and transformation for me to accept the feminine side, because I was afraid actually dealing with women. I couldn't trust them. I said, I can't trust women. I don't know why, being in many environments, dealing with projects and all that, and meeting women, I constantly judge, probably I can't trust. So imagine myself being with so many. I said, how can I trust this woman? But was a big learning for me to accept, to trust, and to look at each other exactly like as I am, exactly, they are exactly like me. We are in the same situation. We are here together to learn and to embrace this beautiful intuitive, guidance, and to learn how to bring it in our life, and to receive more love for us and for others. So this was for me challenging, but I did overcome this. I came back differently, definitely, from that trip. And the second part of the second question, I think, to me, like, how can I say to you, like a lighting bulb, like, for me, what triggered me in the whole course, like, it's changed me completely straight away. When we had to do this module, the leadership, the leadership module, I'm a leader. Oh my goodness me, that shook me inside deeply. That completely changed myself inside. I was so driven to show up, to be seen, and to talk to people, tell people who I am, to tell people my beliefs and values, and not be afraid, and open up and talk, even at work, in corporate, tell them, and tell them more. And I became so passionate about this. And one day I decided, because I was so pushed by this leadership aspect of spirituality, that to create a group on Facebook, Spiritual Leaders Collective, and I changed my Facebook group, my Facebook page, I changed it to Daniela Godfrey Spiritual Leader, based on this module. Oh my God, I couldn't sleep for 1 week. Every night I had nightmares. My ego came, how dare you to call yourself a spiritual leader? You are nothing. You put yourself on the pedestal. Oh my God. 1 week I was shaking every night. I was waking up with nightmares. And in the morning I tell my husband, oh my God, what have I done? I call myself a spiritual leader. Oh, I was in fear. Well, I managed to hold off on this and stay strong and say, oh, whatever. After a week, the fear got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And in the end, I say, who cares? I am who I am. I can call myself whatever I want to be called. And who cares if some people will judge me or criticize me? It is what it is. And after that, I opened this group, as I said, and Spiritual Leaders Collective, and which is Facebook group, and also here on the Gold Coast meetup called Spiritual Leaders Collective Gold Coast meetup. And people come and say, I'm not a leader. I don't think I can fit into this. I say, hold on. We are all leaders. You are a leader. I am a leader. Everyone is a leader. You are the leader of your life. You are the leader of your, family, kids, work, everything you do, you are a leader. So stay here. You belong here. This was a huge change for me, particularly because I was a leader in corporate. So that leadership, to me, to bring this together, corporate and spiritual leadership, into one leader, and to show up and to be seen, was huge, was absolutely huge. And I'm so grateful that happened that way, because I really needed this. I needed this deep transformation. I wouldn't be able to do the work I'm doing now without stepping into this stage in my life and lead. I have to lead by example. And yeah, I'm so forever grateful to Ricci-Jane for this amazing teaching and this module that shook my life. And yeah, I'm just not afraid anymore to be called this way. And yeah, it's me now. So I love who I am, and I love what I do.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Tosca,
Yes.
how about you?
Yeah. One of the biggest changes and surprises from this third level is the amount that I have moved from my comfort zone into the discomfort zone, and know that it's okay. Do you know what I mean? To know that that is okay to move in that zone. Nothing is going to happen. You will move through that, and new miracles, new perspective, new possibilities will happen. And not to hold back and go, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. But to actually say, yes, I can. I will, even though I'm nervous and scared and fearful, I am still going to do it because I believe, and that trust. So consequently, at the beginning of this year, I moved 2,000 kilometers, left my job for 10, 15, there's been miraculous changes. And I know from the bottom of my heart, I would never have done this if I hadn't done the third level. Yeah. So I unequivocally can say that. And yeah, the course and all of the magic. The challenges, the challenges was, and this I love, RJ, she is so beautifully fierce, but the challenge of not being able to squeak or squirm or pivot somewhere else, for her to hold us in her fierce love, to go, you're not going anywhere. I've got you, baby. You're not going anywhere. You're going to stand up and you're going to do this, and it's going to be okay. So her beautiful commitment to all of us to shine our own light, that was the lovingly challenge, but it was a good challenge.
Absolutely.
And what about for you, Renee?
For me, the biggest challenge was probably similar to Nafisa. I signed up because I wanted to surround myself in that gold standard training, but I also really wanted to surround myself in sisterhood. And that was my biggest challenge, was to actually feel like I fit in and I belong. That for me, the first term, I found really, really hard. So yeah, and I messaged Gemma, who was my lead mentor, and I was like, I don't know, like I'm just not feeling it, like I'm not sure if I fit in. And she's like, just wait, just hang in there, I'm like, all right, I'll trust, because when I trusted myself to do the third level, I didn't know what the hell, why I was doing it. I had no idea, but I trusted myself and I trusted that decision. And I've known RJ long enough to just trust us together. So I trusted, and but that was probably the biggest challenge for me, was fitting in, and just that constant question again of, do I fit in? Is this where I belong? Yeah, the biggest and probably another challenge was humility, like that balance when, like, I found that it felt like a really fine line between like stepping out of your own way and being confident in yourself, but then being humble at the same time. I found that at times really hard because I have such high expectations of myself. So I'm going in and I'm like, right, guns blazing, like, right, that's it. I'm going to friggin' nail this like a boss. And then I'd go in and then I'd get slapped with the humility stick time and time again. And one day in Bali, I just wanted to hightail it out there. I was like, what the hell am I doing here? Like, I just felt like the biggest fraud and just the biggest loser on the planet. I was like, I just need to get out of here. I just need to run. So that was a big challenge for me. But also such a huge turning point at the same time. The biggest delight for me was I didn't sign up to learn the method. Like, method sessions, I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, like, you know, I could not give two shits about the method session. And then I learned the method session and I fell in love. Like, I love doing the method sessions. I am madly in love with them. Like, I feel like I'm home. And so that was the biggest, unexpected, most amazing surprise for me. So no matter how many times I do them, I just love them. I think it's the most amazing journey and transformation that I can really have the privilege of journeying with someone, you know, in that 75 minutes. It's amazing. So yeah, that's my two. So where are we at? So we're probably got about 10 minutes. You know, we've kind of all tapped on the reason why we thought we were signing up was completely different till we realized what it was really about for us, right? So what was it for you guys what was it really about for you that it was, you know, and I guess the beauty of hindsight, you know?
Yeah.
So Tosca, let's start with you. What was it really about for you that you didn't know at the beginning?
I didn't know it was about me. I didn't know. I thought, yes, I'm doing a perceived spiritual course, and I love Ricky's book and all of that. And yes, let's do this. But the flip side was, oh my goodness, the deep excavation of fears and the deep realization of love. So yes, that was the surprise.
Nafisa, what about you?
A little bit like Tosca. I went in it because it was very much snowballed, you know, read Ricky's book, did the initiate program, and bang, I don't know how I got to the third level. I actually have no idea. And I was just signing up to go deeper into learning about intuition, you know, not knowing that I'm going to come out on this other side, you know, with, you know, a mama who's like, get to bed, I'm off, but I'm going away and I'm going to do my work. And so that was very much like Tosca, you know, the whole, it was about me, you know, and I really had no idea. It was just, I was going to just head down and learn about intuition. It was, you know, in fact, I'd never experienced a method session before I've been to Bali.
Oh, really?
Apart from having with our mentors.
Oh,
I'd actually never had one before the mentor, so I didn't even know. I had no idea, and I know Ricky always says this. Ricky, if you're watching, I know everything is there. It's all done. And yes, I swear I did read it, but I must have just been, I don't know, really tired when I read all of that. So all this, I had no idea. So, yeah, it was really, it was wonderful, and I'm so grateful for what. The gift. It's a gift.
It is.
Absolutely. What about you, Daniela?
For me, was because at the time when I started this program, I was doing energy healing, so I had clients doing energy healing, lots of modalities, but I was looking for something to go deeper, to be able to support them on different level, not just with energy healing. I knew that I need to learn something. I need to evolve and to be able to support them on different level. So when I I stumbled up a Ricky book, everything like everyone else, we reach here some point. But what actually came out in the end was not just offering the method, which is amazing, and also I developed some programs to support them for a different period of time. But I actually became a teacher with the Intuitive Intelligence Initiate program. So this part, I didn't expect it in the beginning, see, because I was drawn to this after I finished and after doing the method and practicing with my clients. When the opportunity came to become a teacher, I just felt that this is it. I need to do this. To be able to reach out to more people, this is it. So instead of working one-on-one, one-to-many, that was exactly what I was looking for. So I'm very, very, very grateful because this Initiate program that I'm teaching together with my other sister teachers, it is life-changing. I can see transformation in all these women that embark in the program, and I feel so much love and gratitude and so humbled to be able to teach them these practices that we learn through the Initiate program, because each one of them, they are very simple but very, very powerful. So this was for me absolutely ultimate part. I didn't expect it in the beginning, but being a teacher now, to me, it's just the most beautiful thing that I can offer to others to support them on the spiritual journey and to go deeper.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's honoring work, isn't it? For me, what it was really about was ending all pursuits. Like, I've been searching for as long as I can remember, and I've been chasing success for as long as I can remember. And my business before, like just in the last 13 years, and even before that, it was constantly changing, and I was constantly just wanting more and seeking more. And I wanted to do more, be more, just everything. And then in the last 13 years of being in business, I was constantly just, doing everything all at once, and, and it was just all, getting away from me. So, so for me, what it was really about was just ending all pursuits. And I realized who I was before I became the byproduct of my life experiences. And I feel like I can actually be of service now. And and that's not dismissing the work that I've done before, because I've had an amazing journey, but now I just feel just so laser focused, and the path of service is it just feels really aligned now, and just it feels like a really poignant moment for me. So okay, let's wrap up. But as we wrap up, so just give off a final, maybe something about RJ that no one really knows, or a thank you for RJ, or what to the Institute, to the work. What is it that you think that, if someone's to think about Ricci-Jane or the Institute, what is something that is fabulous or funny or whatever? Tosca?
There is integrity. There is integrity from the book to the Facebook Lives to her courses, and there's a rich curriculum and pedagogy that follows that. So you know that it is 150% what it is. Yeah.
Beautiful. Nafisa?
Very much like Tosca, one of the things that maybe a lot of people might not know, and gosh, I hope you get the opportunity to find out, ethics, you know, like integrity. What Ricci sets up for the Institute and in this realm of work are, you know, I'd like to know if anyone can find it out there with this work. And Ricci is her word, and she stands for every single thing that she puts on offer. So integrity and ethics, I just can't speak highly enough of Ricci and the Institute in what they offer. Yes.
Beautiful. Daniela?
What I can say, I am so passionate about Ricci's spiritually fierce revolution and the leading women to step up in their power and to be leaders, and to don't be afraid to lead by example of confidence and strength, but also humility and to be humble. And I love all her teachings. I love what Institute is doing in this world, bringing up more women together to be of service, to teach them to find their own power through their heart, to drop down in their heart, trust their innate power, trust their intuition, and lead by example. And don't be afraid to do it. Leave fear alone and just go with full strength and full power, which is only love.
Beautiful. For me, something that I think people probably won't know about RJ is she's so quirky, and she's funny AF, but she's a fierce friggin' teacher. Like, she is fierce and she will hold you in love and bucket loads of it. But sometimes, like in our closing circle in Bali, and we were all going around, like, I think, Nafisa, do you reckon like nearly every single one of us said, I really wanted to punch you in the face? So, but she's fierce, and I really admire that in her leadership. And you know, speaking of ethics and integrity, and what I love about it is, yes, she teaches it and it is the gold standard in the Institute, but it's like she teaches it and she's fierce and open about it in the training, but quiet about the depth of her social impact. You know, she's not spruiking the ethics and the social impacts that she does. She's actually just friggin' doing the work. And so it's not to gloss over and like, look at me, I'm doing this. She's behind the scenes, you know, she's holding it from the back lines, and that integrity is absolutely fierce. And then there's also pockets of absolute innocence about her as well, which is just beautiful. So yeah, from the bottom of my heart, RJ, and from all of us here, happy birthday. Just thank you for all that you do. Thank you for who you are, and thank you for the Institute and leading us with such fierceness and integrity and humility and honesty and everything else. We would not be here where we are today if it wasn't for you. So happy birthday. We are absolutely holding you in so much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Ricci.
Thank you, Ricci-Jane.
Thank you, Renée, for holding us all and for this brilliant job. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you. And we didn't check the comments, so we will go back and answer any questions. Bye, everybody.
Bye, sisters. Bye.
Bye.